Hey, William from the Zombie Star, and this week in comics, we have several issues to talk about. I kind of want to try talking about more comic books in these videos, so I'm going to make them shorter, talk a lot faster, but really try to just discuss a lot of things that I'm liking about these books, and really just continue recommending issues that are still running, and even talk about number ones, which I don't have any in this video, but some really awesome additions to comic books that I'm reading did come out this week. Also, reading and doing this kind of takes a lot of time, so we had to break up this video and do a lot of editing, so it's going to look different, but still it's all the comic books that came out this week. And check out what we're reading for this week in comics. From Image Comics this week, we got the conclusion to Two Moons. This was really one of my favorite things that Image is doing. This was a lot of fun to read. Love plays on history. If you love plays on histories, if you love horror, if you love kind of stories of demons and monsters and things like that, Two Moons is really cool. It really is meshing an actual historic timeline or historic event like the events of the Civil War, and meshing it with kind of lore and the spiritual world of the main character, Virgil, which is a Pawnee shaman. So it's this awesome blend, and artistically it just does a really beautiful job of bringing that kind of rustic and really brutal environment that the Civil War was, and blending it with this really otherworldly and this spiritual kind of presence that only Virgil at first is able to see and able to interact with. Issue 5, we really just get this final confrontation where allies of Virgil are actually able to see the monstrous demons that he can see, and this just all-out war just occurs in this one issue. Artistically, it's graphic, it's brutal, it depicts not only just a war that it takes place in, but even blends in and even artistically just beautifully brings in this spiritual battle that Virgil is a part of. Two Moons from Image Comics, 5 issues. I believe this was the last one. This had a very conclusive ending to it. This was the last issue. Usually it says end at the end, but this one didn't. So I don't know, maybe this was going to be number 6, but this ended. This, at least, story arc of Virgil did end. And we did get one awesome. Do not know who the variant artist is, but this kind of reminds me of a little bit of like a Walking Dead kind of art style for it, as it does have, not zombies, this isn't zombies, this is demons and monsters, and just some really awesome stuff. Two Moons from Image Comics, issue number 5 this week. The Department of Truth continues its mind-bending narrative with issue number 6 from Image Comics. This continues to be, this narrative is really just a bottomless rabbit hole, where every issue just takes you deeper into some of the most intricate and complex and most popular conspiracy theories from the United States. Issue number 2 really focused on the Department of Truth and what it was as a government sector that controls, monitors, and explores conspiracy theories, but a lot more than that. Introduces the main protagonist, which is Agent Cole, a newcomer in the Department of Truth. And of course, the comic's main antagonist, which is the Star-Faced Man, which is kind of Cole's endgame really character, trying to figure out who and what the Star-Faced Man is. Well, that's really an overlying narrative. Underlying is really just an exploration into every single major conspiracy, and each issue kind of dives into each conspiracy individually. Issue number 6 obviously takes you down the path of the Sasquatch or Bigfoot, and man, is it weird. Continuing to play with the notions that the Department of Truth and even other opposing factions of America and the American government are manipulating and producing these conspiracy theories and using them for political gains, and it just goes on and on and on, and really does go out there. I really got to give it, for writing, just for it being bold, very controversial, and really not shying away from every single conspiracy theory that you can think of. The Department of Truth includes it in its story when describing how these conspiracies are made and what they're used for, whether it's political gain, to change or alter some kind of social measures, or even to control. Really exciting, really awesome, but this is a real mind bender, real psychological thriller, if you will. And if you're into conspiracy theories and you like reading about this just really twisted ways that people can use conspiracy theories to kind of gain or to hurt, the Department of Truth really is not shy. to go down that road. Artistically, I had mentioned Ashley Wood, and this continues to just be really just dark. It's really just a dark presentation, and distorted, as the concept of Department of Truth and the concept of conspiracies are extremely distorted. The line between reality and what's make-believe is also just distorted conceptually, and the art, I think, plays along to this, and it's just done really, really well. Very unique art style that I think is just perfect and absolutely appropriate for the Department of Truth. I'm absolutely loving this. Don't know when this is going to end, but we're already 6 issues in, and it's so awesome. This is really good. This was our standard cover with that awesome looking, just terrifyingly drawn Bigfoot. Very noticeable character. This is a very common theme. This character is a very common theme, but really just playing in the background. And of course, as we continue down the story of Department of Truth, we're learning more about the lady in the red dress with the crossed eyes. But this is an awesome variant cover. Do not know who's doing the variant covers, but we did get several. We did get these, and just one more. And look at this. I love how they do this. They have their own like insignias for the secret society stuff, and just check out that artwork. This is almost like psychedelic, you know, hallucinogenic, if you will. Department of Truth issue number 6. This is really cool. This is the break, and we're going to continue with Star Wars High Republic issue number 6. Check out that cover. Still, for Star Wars fans who just love extended universe and who really are looking for something for Star Wars, since we're kind of haven't seen anything cinematically for Star Wars since The Rise of Skywalker, and this is a lot of fun for that extended universe, as it's really exploring a time that is so distant from the cinematic universe, and still following Jedi Master Skier, Jedi Keith Trennis, and Jedi Master Avar Kriss, as they're still kind of bonded with this shaky and fragile alliance with the Hutts, and they are all caught in the middle of this all-out war with the Drengir, which is this plant-like hive mind that is able to control an entire population of an entire planet and is running amok throughout the entire universe. Issue 6 sees that they are pretty much in all-out war with the Drengir and are trying to get to the heart of it and put this to an absolute end. I'm really still appreciating this comic for just exploring the time period that it's in and introducing characters that we've never seen before. But more so, every issue kind of teaches you something different about the Jedi and an ability that I really never knew that Jedis can do. Whether it being it's just something that Jedis can do during this time period, or just something that we have never seen a Jedi be able to do in the cinematic films or in any video games. And this is just a lot of fun to read for that reason. But check out this cover. That's Jedi Master Avar Kriss on top of a Rancor. I mean, again, just things that you really have not seen, or anything that you have not been able to kind of experience in any of the films. As this, the closest thing we saw was, you know, Luke fighting a Rancor, but, you know, being able to ride one, it's pretty badass. Artistically, again, this is just a very vibrant depiction of a Star Wars experience, and the characters are just beautifully rendered, and like I mentioned before, just something that is kind of just begging to be on a big screen or a small screen, as it really does. It really looks like something you'd expect from a Star Wars film or show or even animation. But really apart from anything, if you are watching a Bad Batch or any of the Star Wars animated shows, this is kind of really apart from that. The art is really different from it, but is really able to hold that intensity and that kind of action and sci-fi sense that you'd expect from any film. Looks beautiful. It's a really awesome story, and again, just a real good recommendation for any Star Wars fans that just want to dig into something with that Star Wars feel in it. This is Star Wars High Republic, issue number 6. And this is the only cover we got. No, it is not the only cover we got. Check this out. I just saw it, I forgot. You guys know I'm a Peach Momoko fan, and if Peach Momoko does anything, I have to get it. But check that out. Look at this. I don't know which character this is, and how she, or what character she's depicting here. Maybe something that has not been done, but check that out. I mean, that is just pretty awesome. This is a variant, I believe it is a 1 in 25, and I was really excited to get this. But yeah, that's really cool. Star Wars. This is issue number 6. High Republic. This is really cool from Marvel Comics. All right, let's move on. This week we also saw the release of Crossover issue number 7. I want you guys to see this. So Donny Cates and Jeff Shaw's name has been scratched out, and we have Chip Zdarsky, Phil Hester, and Andy Parks that have been written in. The authors here are really having a lot of fun with this. Crossover is a really acquired taste, as I mentioned, since probably issue 1. I haven't covered every single issue on this week, but I've been reading every issue. And this is something really special. Crossover tells a story of an event that has the realm of comic books kind of come through this tear in reality and cross over into our reality. The last time that we were reading a book by Donny Cates, it kind of was focusing on a much grander scope, as we were following just a bunch of different characters, but also following how this event impacted the grander realm of our reality, or really just planet Earth, right? Issue number 7 takes a step further. As you can see that Chip Zdarsky is a character in this issue, and he's missing. Chip Zdarsky is also the author. Another goal of these beings that come from the terror in this reality is to kill a lot of authors and artists that actually live in our existence, including Chip Zdarsky. So the focus is now on Zdarsky, and it's just a weird issue. This is a very untraditional way to write a comic book, but you can really tell that the authors here are just having a blast with this just bizarre story, and each issue just gets weirder and weirder with this crossover event. Artistically, we do see also a shift here, as we can tell some of the creators have been switched out, and I kind of get that feel from like Image's Family Tree, the same art style by Phil Hester in this issue, but still holding on to that kind of bizarre and eccentric kind of feel to this story, which it clearly is. And it does a really good job to kind of deviate, but still stay within that same theme of the event of crossover. This is really interesting. This is something really special. I don't think we're ever going to see anything like this again. And if you're not reading crossover, this is a lot of fun. Really, for fans of just, if you love comic books, you love superheroes, or even if you just like those self-aware stories, or anything that likes to just cross over in the sense of kind of beating on that fourth wall, crossover is a lot of fun. This is issue number 7. This was really cool. This issue was very funny. A lot of good jokes in this. You can just tell that they're just having a blast, which just makes it all the more fun to read. Crossover from Image Comics, issue number 7. This was really cool. Alright, so we're going to end off this week with one of my favorite releases this week, which I probably say every week, but we need to talk about Made in Korea, issue number 2. I came into late on this one. Picked up issue number 1. Wasn't sure I was going to like it, but it really did blow me away. And issue number 2 is really awesome. This is by Jeremy Holt, George Shaw, Adam Wallet from Image Comics. If you like the film Artificial Intelligence, or if you're reading Jeff Lemire's Ascender, which started off as Descender, Made in Korea is going to be for you. Except it is a really heavy drama in a more foreseeable future, as kind of those settings are more in a distant future. Telling the story of the artificial android Jesse, who comes into possession of a very mundane and kind of plain, seemingly plain American family. The setting is a future where having kids and making a family is very difficult and not a reality for some couples. So the only option is to adopt an artificial intelligence. And of course, it's just a very charming story, a very moving story about a coming age of an android trying to make sense of her surroundings and how she's going to grow with this inexperienced family, but also with the cruel world that is around her. Jesse is also a very special AI. Don't want to give too much away, but think about this is gonna date me, but something like Short Circuit and Johnny Five, just this kind of machine that is craving just information and stimulation, and even affection, and is a really just fresh take on that concept. Made in Korea is really awesome. It really does explore, even though it's through the eyes of an artificial intelligence, but it really does explore the human behavior, and through the eyes of an artificial intelligence, just the beauty of it, but also the darkness of it, if you will. It's a really good story, heavy drama, and something that I'm just really enjoying. Really deviated from what I'm used to, but man, I was really drawn into this. This is really awesome. Made in Korea. The only cover, do not know if I had any other covers. Artistically, what they're doing here is very plain. What they're doing here is very simple, very accessible. Artistically, they're not doing anything too flamboyant. It kind of keeps with the theme of it just being a seemingly simple family, simple situation from the production company that Jessie comes from to the house that she's adopted to, kind of just plainly, with a plain appearance, but just beautifully done though, just beautifully done, and is just a lot of fun to read. This is going to be another hard recommendation. Made in Korea from Image Comics. This is issue number 2 that came out this week, and here's issue number 1. Just love these covers where, you know, everything is kind of grayed out except for the AI Jessie, and I just think that that is really cool. That's it for this week in comics. We talked about a lot of issues, more than I thought, and we even had to break it up because reading and doing this kind of takes more time than I thought. And I'm probably gonna be doing this from now on. Instead of making multiple videos, I'm just gonna edit everything into, you know, one thing. So we'll see you guys now, hopefully next week, for This Week in Comics, see what's coming out. Don't forget to visit the website, and I'll see you guys next time.